What are you doing, library cat? It's not your room. So for Christmas this year, my great Aunt Barb gave us this bulb, the Amaryllis Amigo, and I've been watering it quite a bit, and it's just growing like crazy. It's growing so quickly. And we noticed at the beginning of the week that it was starting to bulb up, and I had a little video of that and I lost it. But I did take videos of the progression of that bulb this week to see if it would open. I was hoping it would open this week, but it didn't. But I'm gonna show you really quickly what that bulb is looking like. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to show you what our beautiful Amaryllis Amigo looks like. Hi, I'm Amy and this is A Star Reads, and it's time for another Sunday Sum Up. So, what happened this week? It was a good week. It was a good week. School was really good. I'm enjoying my term so much this time around that I'm like, I gotta savor it because not every term is gonna be this amazing. I mean, I love school and I'm enjoying the process of learning to be a teacher, but there have been some classes that are not quite as fun as the others. Just a lot of work, a lot of thinking, heavier subject matter. And this term is just so much fun. I'm taking a math course, I'm taking a science course, and I'm taking a literature course. Like, it's all good. My science professor is amazing. My math professor is the same one I had as last term, so I already know how she works, and I've loved her last term. So fantastic, fantastic. And then same with my children's literature professor. Like, everything is fantastic with school right now, which feels good. Nothing else too exciting going on in my life at the moment. Trying to get through some reading, working on some editing. I'm currently working on my best of 2021 video, and it's very complex the way I decided to do it. So it's gonna take a long time to edit because there's a lot of edits in it. And you'll see what I mean when it eventually comes out, which I'm hoping will come out. I wanted it to come out on Saturday, but obviously that didn't happen. So hopefully sometime soon next week. I've got a lot I need to catch up on video-wise. As far as my reading goes, I wanted to have more books to review for you today, but that didn't quite happen. But that's okay. I'm still chugging away on Mad Ship. I will be doing one review, so I did finish one book, and I can't wait to tell you about that one. So I'll get to that in a minute, but I wanted to tell you what I'm currently working on. So I am currently working on Mad Ship, and look at that, 100 pages left. I have 100 pages left. And I'd like to get this done today. So today is actually Saturday, even though, you know, it's my Sunday Sum Up. Fingers crossed. I want to get this done. I want to get this done today. And then it'll be in the next week's Sunday Sum Up. So I'm so close. I just haven't been able to give the time for reading that I want to give this week. So I'm hoping over this weekend to really prioritize some reading because I don't have too much homework this weekend, so I'm fingers crossed that I'm able to get more reading done. And then one that is on my TBR but not on my game TBR that I ended up picking up because I thought this was perfect, and I decided I want to read a certain number of poems a day, is Into a Tiring Passion, Poems on Love. I read the introduction, and then there's 100 poems in this, so I figured out it has to be roughly 4 poems a day. And you know what's funny about this is that Mom's always said she doesn't like poetry because she just doesn't understand it. And I think that part of the problem is she doesn't necessarily know how to read poetry, and neither do I. I'm not saying that I'm a great poetry reader. I never liked poetry until I took a class where we started analyzing poetry and trying to understand it more. And then I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I had before. It's not to say that every poem is for me, because I think that poetry can be very subjective. But I thought this would be a fun time for us to read these poems aloud and then talk about them and see if Mom can get a better understanding of poetry. And so we started doing this, and it's been so much fun. Like, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm gonna put in a few clips of us reading a couple poems that we enjoyed. And we are at page 18. So we've gone this far so far. So we're gonna read like 3 to 4 of these a day. And hopefully by the end of February, we will have love in our life.
I can't do it now. An evening. A sunset's mounded cloud, a diamond evening star, sad blue hills afar, love in his shroud. Scarcely a tear to shed, hardly a word to say. The end of a summer day, sweet love dead.
Okay, so we're reading some poetry, and this one is my favorite so far. Francis William Bourdillon. The night has 1,000 eyes. The night has 1,000 eyes, and the day but one. Yet the light of the bright world dies with the dying sun. The mind has 1,000 eyes, and the heart but one. Yet the light of a whole life dies when love is done. Also, another book that's on my TBR, not my game TBR, but my TBR, is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book that I need to read for the whole Lunar Chronicles series. And I decided to get through this, to absolutely get through this. I'm going to try and read 3, I think for the first week it'll be 3 stories, and then I'll read 2 stories each week after that. So I am rereading the first story. Not quite finished with that first story, but I'll get through it today. And then hoping to get these done this weekend because my first week is almost over. But it'll go fast because I'm revisiting characters I already know. And Marissa Meyer's writing always tends to read pretty quickly. So I'm gonna get those 3 done. I need to get through here by Monday evening. So hopefully I'll get that done. And I'm kind of posting all the stuff on the Discord channel, our Bookstar read-alongs. I'm posting my comments and stuff on there to keep myself accountable. Danielle from Book Car is also trying to get through this month. So we're gonna do it, Danielle. We're gonna get it done. Finally, the other book I am actively reading at the moment is my new audiobook because I finished my other audiobook, and that is Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. I'm about 60% of the way through that one, so it's a very short, like 4-hour audiobook, and I'm really loving it so far. It's a middle grade book about this young Syrian girl's experience leaving Syria and coming here to the US. And it's such a beautiful perspective, such a wonderful perspective, a perspective we don't hear from very often, so I'm really enjoying that. And the audiobook is great. I'm really enjoying the audiobook. The narrator is doing a fantastic job. And this one I'm reading sort of in honor of my class. Like, we're gonna be reading other chapter books for the class, so I don't necessarily have to read that many, and we're not required to read that many chapter books. It's mostly picture books. But I've been suggested this book by so many people. I've heard so many amazing things, and then recently my science teacher was suggesting I read it as well. So I was like, I gotta pick up this book. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while, and it's been great. And also I should point out that the chapters are very, very short. So if you really like short chapters, then this is the book for you. Sometimes it feels a little abrupt, but I get that that's the point of the flow. It's like little snippets of her thoughts in moments and of what's going on in moments. And I think that makes sense because it's written in verse. When you're listening to an audiobook, sometimes it feels a little abrupt. So I don't know if that would be different if I was physically reading it. Like, I wouldn't feel like it was such an abrupt ending to each little teeny tiny chapter. But besides that, the audiobook is really good. So that's it. That's what I'm currently reading. I mean, I have other books I need to get to and other books that I want to start, but like, I've been waiting to finish this one because I have to finish this one. We're already in February, so I said I was gonna get it done in January, but I'm so close. Look at that, I'm so close. I'm there, I'm practically there. So these are the books I'll be working on this weekend. Wish me luck. The books that I need to start on this week are, this one's for class. This one's actually assigned, so I have to read this. I wanna start They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And actually, I really want to read Flora and Ulysses because we have to do a fantasy element to one of our classes. So we're supposed to watch one of the movies on this list of movies she wants us to watch. And I don't really like watching a movie before I've read the book. So I was thinking of watching Flora and Ulysses, and I had already picked up this book because somebody recommended it. I can't remember who it was, but thank you for the recommendation. And it looks like such a quick, easy read that I'm like, I could read this before watching the movie. So that I'm hoping to get to this week. And then, yeah, this one, City of Bones. A lot of people in our group have already started reading it, and I'm like, I gotta read it. And then Friday, we've got reading sprints for City of Bones. So come join us on Friday. It's gonna be on my channel at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will link the video up here and down in the description box below so you can come join us. And even if you're not part of Bookstar read-alongs and you're not doing Mortal Instruments with us, come join us anyways. Come read books, chat with us, and we'll see you then. Good morning! It is a beautiful, rainy day here in the Pacific Northwest. It's February 2nd, and yesterday on the 1st, I finished my first book for the month. And I'm really excited because the first book of the month was a 5-star read. It was fantastic. It was so good. And so if you're looking for a good audiobook recommendation, I would check out The Reading List by Sara Nisha Adams. I'm not sure if it's Sara or Sara. The audiobook says Sara, so I'm guessing that's how you pronounce her name. So this is a story about this older gentleman named Mukesh who is dealing with the grief of his wife. She passed 2 years prior. He's kind of shut himself off from the world a little bit. And his daughters are not keeping him company so much as just keeping track of him and keeping care of him. And he's lonely. He's really lonely. He feels like they're just treating him like an old man. And he doesn't have the connections he had when his wife was alive. And so he's struggling. And his wife was a very avid reader. And so to kind of get close to her, close to her memory, he decides to start reading books and kind of get an idea of why she loved reading so much. Our other main character of this story is Alicia, and she is a young 17-year-old who lives with her mother and her brother. Her brother's like 25 or something like that. But her mother has severe depression, severe depression where she can't really function. It's kind of been going on ever since her father left them. And basically Alicia and her brother end up having to take care of the mother. It's a difficult story because there's a lot of grief here, a lot of grief. And Alicia has never liked reading. She hates reading, but she got this job over the summer at the library, which is her brother's favorite place. And that's where she ends up meeting Mukesh. And she finds this reading list, which she uses to help Mukesh on his journey of reading. But to make sure that she should be recommending these books, she starts reading them as well. So these two non-readers start reading these books, and it takes them on this amazing journey of working through their grief, finding friendships, found families. Such a beautiful story. And this is one of those books where the characters are everything. Where my only complaint is that I just would have liked more. I love these characters so much that it's really hard to let them go. You just want to know what's going on with them. These are people that I feel like I want to know. And they're not always the warmest people even, but you just start loving them more and more. I cried so many times during this book because it's very emotional. The conversations around grief were really impactful for me. They really hit home for a lot of different parts of my experiences. And then of course my grandmother passed away 7 years ago, but it was a rough one. And I haven't completely healed from that. So I understood the grief and how hard it is to let that go sometimes and move on with your life. What a tribute to books. This author was sharing basically this list of favorite books, and I think they're probably some of her favorite books, or at least books that have touched her life. And you just see the relationship these characters have with these books and how different books affect different people in different ways. And I just, I love that. I've mentioned that before. That's why I love book clubs, because I like hearing how books touch people in different ways, because we all have different perspectives and opinions. And I just can't tell you how much this book meant to me. And I can't wait to get a physical copy so I can reread it at some point physically, because I think that'll be a completely different experience. But the audiobook was fantastic, and it has multiple narrators. So if you get a chance to listen to the audiobook, I recommend that. Okay, so let's talk about what I brought in this week. And there's not too many this week, but I did have a haul. And one of the things I'm really excited to share is that I got another birthday gift, and it was such a wonderful surprise, I got it fairly early in the week, and the message says, "Hello, Amy. I'm a fairly new subscriber. Welcome. I'm glad you joined. And I really enjoyed your 12 Days of Christmas series. Thank you. It's one of my favorites too. I love this book, and I hope you do too, from Mayra." I got Red, White, and Royal Blue by McQuiston. And this is definitely one I have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. I'm hoping to get some romance in my life lately. For some reason, I never land on romance when it comes to the game. I don't know why, but romance doesn't happen for me very much. But I gotta make it happen because I've been missing and craving. It was so nice over the 12 Days of Christmas to have some romance on my TBR for a change. And so this one is one I've anticipated for quite a while, and I know a lot of people love it. So I can't wait to try this out. Thank you so much, Mayra. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that people are enjoying my channel. It's really wonderful. It makes me feel so good. Okay, so next, Shell and I have been friends since we were very young, high school, and we send each other Christmas gifts every year. And of course, every year we get worse and worse about sending them on time. So sometimes we send them months and months and months later after December, and that happens quite a bit for us. And we're both okay with it. We've come to terms with it. So this year we got Shell's gift, and it was actually a family gift, meaning for Mom and I. And she got us the next 3 books. So after the Live Ship Traders, you've got Fool's Fate, Fool's Errand, and Golden Fool. And these are the next 3 in the series. This is the Tawny Man trilogy. And so Shell knows that I'm collecting the Bantam Spectra mass market books in particular, because I think I love the way the pictures look and stuff like that. So she got me these. So thank you, Shell. So we're more than halfway through the Live Ship Traders at the moment. And it's funny because recently, while reading Mad Ship, like towards the end of it, there's been a few mentions of the 6 Duchies, which Shell calls the Duckies. So the 6 Duckies. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I miss Fitz. I miss the Fool. The Fool especially is like one of my all-time favorite characters. And I'm like, I miss them. I can't wait to revisit them, which is funny because I've been enjoying the Live Ship Traders series more than the Farseer trilogy. But I'm kind of missing my friends, my old friends. So I'm excited that we're going to get back to them in these books. And then also because I haven't been able to find the 3rd book, Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, at any of the used bookstores I've gone to. I thought it would be more fun to like find it in a used bookstore, but I haven't been able to find the version that I want. So I did order this from Thrift Books, and I got my Ship of Destiny in, and it's in really good shape actually. So I will be able to read this come March. And then finally, I think I mentioned this previously, but my library does this thing where if you ask them to, they will send you a quarterly mystery book to read. And so every quarter I'll get this random book in my hold list, and I'm like, I didn't put that on hold. Why is that in my hold? One time I tried to delete it, and I did delete it, and it got put back on there, and I was like, what is going on here? I didn't put this on hold. And then I realized it was my surprise selection, and the librarian was trying to put it on my list so that it would be ready for me to pick up. I felt so dumb. So I got a surprise selection for March. And this is Saga, which I am so excited about because I often forget about these and then I don't put them on my TBR because I get them at a weird time in the month when my TBRs are already decided. And so then I'm like, oh, well, am I gonna get a chance to read it? Typically, no. But this is a graphic novel. This is a huge, huge book. So this must be a bind up of the whole series or part of the series. It says book 1. So, but I just want to show you this. It says, hi, Amy, surprise from Liz. And it comes like this every single time. So this is Saga. And I've always only ever seen the small individual volumes, so I don't know how many are in this. Maybe it'll tell me. This says book 1 though. And I've heard such great things about this sci-fi graphic novel. So many people love it. I have been looking forward to reading it at some point. Didn't expect it to come into my hands and to read it this soon, but thanks to my library, I'm gonna probably be reading this because graphic novels for me are easier to get through than some of the novels, especially when I have large books like Mad Ship on my TBR. So I usually get something that looks like this, and it's a note from Liz who decided to give me this book. And it says, chosen for you because prepare to be blown away by this galaxy-spanning graphic novel. You might also like, and then she gives recommendations of other books that are similar to this that I might also like. Mirror by Emma Rios and Prophet by Brandon Graham. Happy reading from Liz. So I really love this. Even in the months I'm not able to get to it, it's just fun to get something randomly from my library that they recommend, or at least they've heard of and they're excited about. And I just love that. I think it's fun. I love random picks. So the version that I'm used to seeing has this on the cover. And I know that it's about this couple and there's a war or something, and they've just recently had a baby, and I think they're just trying to survive this war. I'll have more information on this when I get a chance to read it. If you're ever wanting recommendations and just want something random, or you want to get something new that you never would have picked up before, the librarians are such a good resource. I have emailed them in the past because of one of my prompts, and I told them, like, can you give me random books that you love? What were some of your favorite books? And they always want to know, what's your favorite books? What are your favorite types of books? And I'm like, no. I want to know what you loved. And I got some great recommendations. And if your library offers something like the surprise selection, I don't think a lot of people know about this at my library. So look around the website and see if you can find things like this, because this is so cool. It's like getting a mystery book. You know, you often go to the bookstore at like Barnes & Nobles and they have those mystery books, and that's fun. But this way, you don't have to purchase it. You can just get a mystery book every once in a while, and it's great. It's been really great. Hey, so I just picked up the mail, and I have one more book to haul, and I'm really excited about this because it's another birthday gift. So thank you so much, Paige. It came in the mail today, and I'm so excited. So excited. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. Definitely a book I have been dying to own. A series I've been dying to read. And yeah, Shell, I've been dying to read this one. I'm so excited about this. I'm gonna have a hard time waiting until a TBR to read this one. I am so excited about all these books that I've been getting. And so thank you everybody for your generosity, your kind generosity. It's just so touching. It's really wonderful. And Paige, thank you. I adore Paige. She's a co-host with me and Danielle with Bookstar Read-Alongs. She has the best energy and I love her videos. And I just am so happy that we've had the chance to get to know each other better. So please go check out Paige's channel. And it is her birthday coming up soon. And Paige, there is something coming in the mail for you. So don't buy any books. Don't go crazy buying any books right now. Because I want to make sure you don't buy this one in particular. Just the fact that people are so kind and generous to send gifts is mind-blowing. And of course, the support that I get from all of you is, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. So thank you. And that's it. That's the end of my haul. Let me know in the comment section down below what was your favorite read of this past week. The Mad Ship was, oh, I don't know. The reading list. The reading list was so good. I just loved it so much. It touched me. It made me cry. So that is probably the reading list I gotta go with this week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see more of what goes on in my weekly reading life and, you know, just my life. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later.